Hi guys, my name is Nikki, aka the Dragon Queen, and today I'm going to do the intimidating book tag. So nobody tagged me in this, I just thought my hair looked cute, so I wanted to film a tag. The first one is, what book have you been unable to finish? And that book is the Foundation Trilogy by Isaac Asimov. I got one book out of the 3 done. I really enjoyed it. It's just very challenging and it frustrates me how difficult it is to read. So I keep trying to pick it up and then I put it back down almost immediately because I get frustrated that I'm only reading like 20 to 30 pages at a time instead of hundreds at a time like I usually do. I'll get to it eventually. Number 2, what book have you yet to read because you haven't had the time? That would be The Lucifer Effect. This is a nonfiction book that I bought that explains the psychology of why good people turn bad, and it's very interesting sounding. I really love books on psychology. I love getting into their minds, which I've mentioned before, but the font's really tiny and it's over 500 pages if you count the footnotes or the notes in the back, and I have to be in the mood to read it, so I need to sit down and have it focused so I can just read and pay 100% attention so I can actually learn something from that one. Number 3 is, what book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? That book would be Terry Goodkind's Blood of the Fold, as well as every book after that. I actually did start this book and I stopped years ago because of the war involved, and I don't like books about war usually. I might pick it up again and reread it, but they're intimidating all on their own. They're all over 600 pages. I love Wizard's First Rule. I've read it 2 or 3 times. I've also read the second book a couple of times, but I've only gotten to this book once and I quit about halfway through. So I need to finish this because it's my best friend's favorite series, or at least one of them, and I know she really wants me to read them, but per what I've been told, the longer the series goes, the worse it gets, but it gets better at the very end, so I'm not really in a rush to finish it. Number 4, what book have you yet to read because it's brand new? Now, this book isn't technically brand new, at least I don't think it is. I couldn't find a date on it, but it's 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. I bought this because somebody mentioned it on BookTube, and it is a beast of a book. Like, seriously. It's over 1,100 pages. This is a beast of a book, and I haven't picked it up yet because it's a little intimidating. It is the newest one, I think, on this shelf, at least. That's at least intimidating to me, but I haven't picked it up. I honestly don't even know what this is about. I just heard it was really good and I bought it. Probably was not a good idea. Number 5, you read a book by the same author but didn't enjoy it. Now, this one's probably going to be blasphemy, but Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Number 1, it's a huge book. It's 656 pages. Number 2, I read Mistborn. I started Mistborn, and I couldn't get through it at all. I just could not. And I've been told that Mistborn is amazing and Brandon Sanderson is a great author, and I'm sure he is. I can definitely see the story. But he put me in a 2-month reading slump. I couldn't read for 2 months after picking up Mistborn because I didn't want to not finish it, but I didn't want to read it. So I'll probably give Warbreaker a chance because it's a standalone one day, but not today. Number 6, what book have you yet to read because you're not in the mood? This one's going to be another blasphemer, but Game of Thrones. One, they're huge. Two, I've never really been intrigued by them. The pure concept that I keep getting told that it gets better as it goes, but you have to push through the first one or two is foreign to me. If I don't like a book, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to finish the series. I don't watch the show. I know what happens in the show because my husband watches it, but I have no intention to ever read that book ever. I own it because my husband read it, but I have no intention of reading the series, and I know it's blasphemy. I don't care. I'm never gonna read it. Number 7, because it's humongous. This one has got to be Stephen King's The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. I know it's a bunch of short stories, and I actually really want to read this, but it's big, and it's just, Stephen King is pretty intimidating. I mean, it's not as bad as all the other books on my shelf, but it's hardcover, and it's almost 500 pages, and Stephen King, I haven't read much of him before. I've heard good things, but I've always been like anti-horror, not because I don't like it, but because I get scared really easily. So I'm going to try to pick it up soon. I also have a couple of his other books, like Pet Sematary, and a few of like The Stand, and I think a few other books that were hand-me-downs, but I don't know when I'll get to them. Number 8, I bought it because of the cover, but it got poor reviews. Now, I had a hard time finding a book for this one, and I honestly don't recall buying this book, so I don't know if it was actually a cover buy or if it was in like, I bought it offline, and if I bought it offline it was a cover buy, but that would be Illusion by Claudia Gable and Cheryl Clam. There weren't very many cover buys that I own that I haven't already read or that are intimidating to me. I have a lot of cover buys that are really short and really not intimidating. Like, I just haven't picked them up yet because I haven't been in the mood for them. But they're not like intimidating. They're just like, not really. I'll get to that later kind of thing. Like the Dritz series or the rest of Harry Potter, stuff like that. I'll get to it. It's not intimidating to me. I just haven't been in the mood. Last question is the most intimidating book on my list or on my bookshelf, and that has got to be The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Now, the book itself isn't horrible. It's 800 pages. But what's intimidating about this book is if I like it, I'll want to read the rest of the series, and it's a long series, and they're all big books, and that's more of a commitment than Game of Thrones. So I don't know if I want to do that. I like reading, and big books don't worry me that much, but it's a big beast of a book. I mean, I read, I usually, 600 pages and under isn't that bad. Once it gets above 600, I'm like, okay, this is getting a little excessive. But I don't mind it. I don't know. So I've been told I need to read this by like everybody, and it's supposed to be really, really good. It's been out for a while. I know that Brandon Sanderson finished the series. I know that Brandon Sanderson's a very nice guy. It's a big commitment, guys. I don't know if I have that type of commitment time for commitment. I have like hundreds of books to read, and do I really want to add 15 more that are all 800 pages long? The other one would be Discworld. 41 books, even if they're short, that's a lot of books. That's a big commitment for me. So anyway, I tag whoever wants to do the tag. I guess I tag Tough Angel Books, and I tag Denise Dressling at D Dressling Books, I believe is what her name is. And I'll tag Allie Loves Books, who tagged me in the 25 bookish facts on her first video, so welcome. And that's it. leave down the comment below what your most intimidating book is for you and how you conquered your fear and just read it. Bye!